Welcome everyone. I would like to start our session today by acknowledging that I'm hosting this meeting from the lands of the Boonwurrung people. I also acknowledge the traditional custodians from the various lands on which you all are on. We're all not all in the same place, so this is quite different to our previous student awards meetings. And I wanted to pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging, and to celebrate the diversity of Aboriginal peoples and their ongoing cultures and connections to the lands of and waters of all of Australia. I'd also like to welcome all of our donors today. It's without their generous report, these awards that we're presenting today would not be possible at all. I also want, maybe if we could go to the next slide. I wanted to also flag to everyone today that we're going to, after this, we're going to have a special Lady Masson lecture, and it's very timely. It's going to be delivered by Professor Sharon Lewin, and Barbara is putting the link in there if you haven't already registered. So you might think about coming along to this. This is only held every 2 years, so it's quite a special event, and we're very much looking forward to as many of you coming along as possibly you can. And I think in terms of the overview of the order events, I'll just say a few words. We're inviting everyone to have their video cameras on, but you should note that we will be recording these events. So if you prefer that, you can leave your camera off if you're a bit camera shy. Otherwise, please feel free to keep them on. And then the final comment I wanted to make is that I'm asking that instead of applauding individual awardees, that everyone leave their applause until the very end, when Georgie will invite you to congratulate all of our winners tonight. And without further ado, I'm going to hand over to Trevor, who will be emceeing the student awards. We're sharing things around here in terms of people emceeing, and Trevor's going to be our first cab off the rank in terms of the student awards. So over to you, Trevor.
Okay, thanks, Richard. And I also thank all the donors for their generosity in making these awards possible. So the first one is the Dwight Prize, and that's named after Henry Dwight, who was English and came out to Australia in about 1885, mid-1880s, 1850s. Yeah, 1850s. And he was a bookseller and publisher and set up in Melbourne. And he was very successful in that game, and but he then died in his bookshop in the 1870s, early 1870s. So then they bequeathed his property to the university, and then that turned into a cash prize, which is given out to students in chemistry, and that's for the student in first year chemistry who's planning to major in the discipline. And as we see, the next slide is Raylene Tong, who's the recipient of this prize. And as we can see, she's a science student majoring in chemistry. She does have these other interests, maths and sociology. And she's, as we see, spent some time over in the US, hopefully coming back to do some more research in chemistry. So we congratulate Raylene Tong again for winning the Dwight Prize for this year. The next prize is called the Exhibition Prize, and as we see, established in 1961, just through various donations made to the university. And this prize really is there to try and recognise academic excellence in first year chemistry subjects. And the recipient of that exhibition prize for this year is Joseph Rowan. He's obviously done first year chemistry, but moved on to and doing some engineering studies. But as we see, he's found chemistry very rewarding, and hopefully we might see him back doing some more chemistry in the future. So, okay. So the Charles Anthony Taylor Prize. So this prize was, well, can be called the Cat Prize because that's how he was nicknamed. He was called the Cat because of his initials. And he was the premier forensic scientist of his generation, really. And he was in the Victorian Police Force as a forensic scientist. He used toxicology, ballistics, fingerprinting, and also microscopy in this forensic work. So he was a well-noted chemical analyst. So the Cat Prize this year goes to Dominic Brown. And this prize goes to Dominic because of his very successful studies, particularly in third-year studies, where he's been particularly enjoying the specialist topics subjects that we have in third year, in particular some of those modules within that subject 30017. So there's, in that subject, people get to choose various modules that they are interested in, and he's in particular found the metals subjects or inorganic type subjects of particular interest, the metals in chemistry and the structural inorganic and supramolecular chemistry. So we congratulate Dominic very much for the recipient, being a recipient of that prize. The next prize is probably one that the name rings a bell to many of us in chemistry. The Cumming Memorial Scholarship is named after James Cumming. And he was a founder of the Chemical Institute in Victoria, and he was the president of that institute in 1903 and 1914. And he did a bit of a world tour in the early 1900s, and he studied new developments in fertilizer and chemical plants, and then established a plant of his own at Yarra Junction, distilling, well, products from wood. And so, oops, sorry, we go back there a bit. So in memory of James Cumming, there's obviously a statue over in Yarraville, but we probably know the name more from the theatre that's still in chemistry here at Melbourne. Okay, so that's a bit of background on James Cumming, and the award for the James Cumming Memorial Scholarship goes to Henry West. So he's currently studying first year of his Masters and currently working with Gavin Reid. So as we see, he's working with trace analysis and identification of active compounds, and working in Gavin's group, of course, mostly using mass spectrometry. So we also have a second awardee for the James Cumming Memorial Scholarship, and that goes to Maddie Nusky. And she's been around the department and has been very active within the department, both from the undergraduate coursework, but she's also been very heavily involved in various research projects, both with Uta and Brad Clark, and now is doing her master's degree again in the Reid group, in the bioanalytical chemistry group. So we hope to see Maddie around for somewhat longer, as she wants to stick around in research, and yeah, hopefully goes on to a PhD. So congratulations to Maddie and Henry. So the next one is the Rex Williamson and Family Scholarship, and Rex Williamson was involved in what was the Gordon Institute of Technology, and that's now Deakin University. And he had a 34-year career at Deakin and really became a key figure in the establishment of Deakin's Warren Ponds campus down at Geelong, and oversaw the when they accepted their first students there in 1977, I believe. So he worked there for 34 years and retired in 1983. So then this scholarship was established in 2013, and a similar scholarship, I think, is offered down at Deakin. So this scholarship is awarded to Catherine Fitzgerald, and that will be presented essentially by Murray Tarawala, and we'll try and have a more formal presentation towards the end where some of the awardees can meet with the presenters. Okay, so yeah, Catherine has also been around the department for a little while, and has also been very active in undertaking research projects, and is currently doing her MSc project with Jonathan White. And she's done, as I say, various projects, both from third year research projects, and I think she also did one of the science equivalent research projects at third year. So she's shown a lot of interest, I guess, in the whole research side of things in chemistry. So she's currently working on a total synthesis of a novel radio tracer, and so she's clearly got this interest in chemistry and the more medicinal side of chemical research. Okay, so I think we are also going to cross to Murray for a couple of words. Is that right?
Yes, thank you very much, Trevor.
You can. There he is.
I could just explain why I'm here, since my name is not Williamson. I was actually a member of the diploma group that finished in the Gordon Institute in 1962, one of about a number of 30, I think. And when Rex passed away in 2014, the members of that group, the 1962 group, wanted to do something to memorialise Rex. And we discovered that Rex had made this endowment before he died to Melbourne University, and we decided to add a small amount to that. And that's really why I'm here, representing the Williamson family, and that's our connection. And I certainly would like to congratulate Catherine very much. Jonathan White has spoken very highly of you, Catherine, and you are obviously a worthy recipient of this scholarship. Thank you, Trevor.
Maurice.
Thanks very much, Murray.
Oh, hello, Catherine. I can see you now.
Very good. Thanks very much. Okay, so the next prize we have is the J.S. Anderson Prize, and this is named after John Stuart Anderson. He was a professor at the University of Melbourne and professor in organic chemistry at the University of Oxford at various times. He died in, I think, 1990. So he learned a lot of his chemistry at the, in a public library in Islington in London, and he applied all sorts of different spectroscopic and other techniques to chemistry, including Raman spectroscopy, electron microscopy, field emission and field ion microscopy, and he applied that to all sorts of things, including minerals that were mined here in Australia. So the J.S. Anderson Prize goes to Catherine Fitzgerald, and we've got to know Catherine from the previous slide. So we won't give her, reiterate the her background, her current research, but we do congratulate her on two awards now. Okay, so the next award is the Fred Walker Scholarship, and I think it was Richard who was doing a bit of research into the Fred Walker Scholarship, the background behind this one. And this was established by his wife. And the background here is that Fred Walker appointed this chemist, Cyril Callister, and that led to our favourite breakfast bread, the Vegemite, in the early 1900s, 1920. And the Fred Walker Scholarships awarded to students enrolling in chemistry in a BSc honours or master's course. And it's based on the academic excellence from their third year results. And unsurprisingly, the recipient of the Fred Walker Scholarship is also Catherine Fitzgerald. So we again congratulate Catherine on a bit of a clean sweep in those 3 awards. So congratulations, Catherine. The next one is the Dixon Research Scholarship. So that's been around for a long time, since the late 1800s, and it's to support scholarships in chemistry, physics, mathematics, or engineering. And so this one goes to a student entering a PhD in chemistry, and as I say, largely based on their results from their BSc honours or their master's course results. And so the recipient of the Dixon Research Scholarship is Benjamin Andrikopoulos. And so Benjamin's first year PhD student in chemistry, and his research is focusing on studying inhibitors to increase nitrogen uptake in domestic and economically significant crops. So early in his PhD, I'm sure it's going very well, and we will no doubt see Benjamin around for a few more years, which is excellent. So congratulations, Benjamin. We have to keep moving through these quite quickly because we do have a pressing timeline. So the next prize is Ronald Riseborough Prize, and established in 1959. And this is in honour of Ronald, who died while he was a student in chemistry, and it's made by his fellow students. So they've subscribed and contributed to this prize. And this is awarded to a student submitting the best research report in applied chemistry in a BSc honours or master's course. We, believe it or not, we used to have an applied chemistry course, but that's now sort of swallowed up into engineering and chemistry. So this award is going to the student who's doing the most or the best applied chemistry, and this goes to Alex Rafaniello. So Alex did his master's working in anti-cancer natural products with Mark Rizakaza, and after that auspicious period, he's now working in a regional university in England. So the Ronald Riseborough Prize to Alex Rafaniello, sorry. So congratulations, Alex. So the next one is the Professor Curnow Research Scholarship in Chemistry, as well as the Stanley Harvey Prize. So again, some of these prizes have been around for a long time and are therefore quite auspicious. And this one, the Curnow Research Scholarship, was established in 1987. And then Professor Curnow was then both in engineering and then went on to the Royal Society of Victoria. And then second to that, there's the Stanley Harvey Prize, which was established somewhat later, in 1984. And that was from John Harvey in memory of Stanley Harvey. So this is awarded to a student entering a PhD in chemistry. It's based on, again, their excellence, academic excellence in their honours year or their MSc year. So the recipient of the Curnow Research Scholarship and the Stanley Harvey Prize is Hui-Ming Tay. And I think this is going to be, we're going to hear a couple of words from Lucy Esdale, Just quickly though, Hui Ming completed her honours in chemistry with Carol Hoyer and Brendan Abrahams, and working in these synthesis and characterisation of the chiral coordination polymers. So she's now started a PhD with Carol and Brendan, and so we're going to see her around for a few more years. In her free time, we see she enjoys playing badminton and watching television dramas and writing stories. Okay, so I think we're going to cross now to Lucy. If we can, is Lucy there?
Yes, thank you very much.
Yeah, welcome, Lucy, and thanks for participating.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'll just say a couple of quick words. Congratulations, Humin, for the award that my parents, Roger Esdale and Susan Esdale, added to the Kernow Prize with bequests in their wills. My father actually did his degree in applied chemistry when it existed at Melbourne in the early 60s, doing and then worked with CSIRO in fibre optics and mass spectroscopy research, and my mother also was an academic with PhD. So they had a great sense of the importance of research and scholarship, and it's great to continue the I guess the Kernow Research Scholarship and Stanley Harvey Prize with their bequests as well. And I look forward to talking with him in a bit later and hearing about her research. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Lucy, and congratulations again to Hui Ming. So the next award is the Monica Elizabeth Room Memorial Prize, which was established in 1998 by family, friends and colleagues of Monica Room. So this is awarded by council on recommendation of the head of the School of Chemistry. In our case, it's he at present. He must have consulted with colleagues, and this goes to the person who submits an outstanding PhD thesis in the area of organic chemistry. And the Monica Elizabeth Room Memorial Prize goes to Bolong Zhang, who finished his PhD last year, and he did a lot of research both in synthesis and characterization of many new materials and devices, particularly for solar energy conversion applications. He did a lot of luminescence studies, made some quite large luminescent solar concentrator systems and so forth. And so he did a very good job in that field. So congratulations to him. He's now moved on, and I think he's also joined a similar regional university in Britain at Cambridge. Okay, so I think I'll finish up there, and we now cross over to awards for the laboratory professional staff, which I think Richard's going to look after.
Thanks a lot, Trevor. You've kept things on time really nicely, which gives me a chance to waffle on a bit as head of school. So it's a pleasure to acknowledge that the success of students are due to multiple factors. First of all, it's their sheer brain power and personalities. Second of all, it's their loving support that they get from their friends and families. And then we like to think a third place comes to us as academics teaching them. But of course, there's a whole lot of other behind the scenes work that many people don't realise contribute in a significant way to our success of our students. And for want of a better word, I'm going to call these the non-student awards. And it's my predecessor as head of school, Evan Bieske, who introduced the concept of giving some of these awards out in terms of the demonstrator awards. These are the people who teach our students in the first, second and third year labs, who contribute basically to their knowledge in laboratory experimental work. So they play obviously a very crucial role, but there are also professional staff members who play an absolutely vital role in helping for those labs. They set up the labs. They are involved in finishing up in the end of the evening. So they do an incredible amount of work that often goes unacknowledged. So I thought it would be nice to establish such an award. And I guess as head of school, you have some luxury sometimes to do things like that. And so this today is a kind of a special day because we are going to be giving the first Laboratory Professional Staff Award. And I am very excited to present it to Rosiah Taylor. Now, this year has been an especially challenging year. Everyone has been touched by COVID in one way or another. And it's been particularly stressful for the staff and students in terms of getting moving, or the word that I hear a lot nowadays is pivoting from face-to-face teaching to the online world. And it's remarkable what all of the professional staff and also the teaching staff has achieved in making that all happen. And Rosiah has been a crucial linchpin in all of that. He was instrumental in our rapid shift to the virtual campus as part of this COVID-19 response. He is part of the first year laboratory team, and he was tasked with converting our lab-based courses to online delivery, which is no small mean feat. That required Rosiah's help and expertise together with the first year lab team. And in a very short time, they developed 12 films that were delivered to 2,000 students across 3 subjects in semester 1. And they've also then amended and developed 10 films that were delivered to 1,200 students across semester 2 subjects in semester 2. This is really very remarkable achievement for that team. And as I said, Rosiah was a key linchpin in all of that. He helped film, edit and produce these films using a mobile phone for semester 1 when the 11 experiments were filmed in a remarkable 4 days between complete lockdown. I had little to do with this apart from sending out messages to the dean saying, please don't shut us down, we need to finish the filming of these. So it's quite remarkable again what was done. Not only is Rosiah remarkable in what he's done for this response to COVID-19, but he's been with us now for a number of years, and he's always demonstrated this willingness and enthusiasm to make adjustments based upon any sort of feedback that might come from staff and students and demonstrators. He's always wanting to produce the best experience for our first year's students, and He's a constant learner. He's got a fascinating background. In the chat room later on, you might ask him more about his background, but he's taught himself new techniques in film and video, auditing, editing, to help create those animations, voiceover, graphics and soundtracks. So Rosiah, I wanted to give you my own personal thanks for all the magnificent work you've done, plus also the thanks for our school community, which includes all of the staff and the students as well. Thank you so much for all the wonderful work that you've done for the school. I now want to move to the Best Demonstrator Awards, and as I said, Evan has done a lot of magnificent things as head of school, and one of the things he has done is to have these awards ceremonies, and then he also established this idea of the first, second and third year chemistry, again to highlight the importance of success for our students lies in part due to the training they're getting from these demonstrators. So maybe if we could have a look at our first demonstrator. So this is for the best first year demonstrator, and this is awarded to Parv Sidhu. Parv is a PhD student in Uta Villa's group, and her research area is an intermix of organic, analytical and soil chemistry. And this is particularly relevant in terms of her family's background because they were 5th generation farmers. where agriculture has had a huge impact on who Parv is today. And through her journey so far, Parv would like to acknowledge that graduate school is not just for getting grades, but for solving problems in order to enrich our understanding of the scientific community. So well done, Parv. Thank you so much for your work and helping our first year students get all the skills they need, and also get excited about thinking about coming back to do second year as well. So thank you, Parv. Our second award is for best year second year demonstrator, and this is for Dal Lonsdale. Dal is a PhD student studying computational chemistry with Lars Gernick. That hasn't held him back from teaching experimental lab classes, so I'm glad that you're not losing your experimental skills, Dal. And you've always liked sharing your knowledge with others, and demonstrating lets you do that. That interaction with the students has left a really positive impact on them, and receiving this award, I guess, encourages you that you're on the right path to continue to make his classes both educational and humorous. I think you are on the right path, Dal. Well done. And again, thank you for all of the wonderful work you've been doing with our second year students. And again, you're probably inspiring them to go on to do third year, where if they do get to third year, they'll be taught by this person, Jacob Rowan. So this is the award for the best third year demonstrator. Jacob's been around for a while now demonstrating, so he's an old hand at demonstrating. And his studies have been centred around investigating the synthesis and application of new molecular imaging agents using radioactive copper as a probe for diseases. This pathway has allowed you to move into a clinical setting as a radiopharmaceutical scientist at the Royal North Shore Hospital in Sydney, where you're able to continue assisting students in your research. And teaching has been one of the highlights of Jacob's postgraduate years, and he hopes that he was able to inspire the chemists he met to continue in the field and pass on their knowledge to students that they encounter along the way, as he has been able to. I think that actually very nicely summarises things, Jacob, that there is this constant progression from first year to second year to third year. And actually, as an academic, it's a joy to see our students, from being sometimes timid first-year students, to blossom and flourish into outstanding researchers who then leave us and go out into the real world and make major contributions. So thank you very much, Jacob, for inspiring our third-year students. I think that's it for me. So I'm going to hand over now to Georgie, who will MC the industry awards. Now, I apologise, but I'm going to have to leave because we've got the Lady Masson and there's a few things to set up. But I wanted to wish everyone all the best, and thank you for coming along to the ceremonies from my own perspective. And Georgie, I'll let you take over, and I'll see hopefully as many of you as I possibly can at the upcoming Lady Masson.
Brilliant. Okay, so I have the pleasure of hosting the Industry Awards, and I'd like to start by really thanking all our industry sponsors for their long-term engagement with our school. It's so important to have outside bodies like our industry supporters supporting us, and I think it makes it a more vibrant place. So we really like to acknowledge that. So I'm going to start with the Andrew Kirby Award for Research Excellence. This was previously the Huntsman Australia Award for Research Excellence. It was renamed in 2015 in honour of the late Andrew Kirby, who was an employee of Huntsman. So this is awarded to a student entering a PhD in chemistry after previous studies in chemistry. So the awardee for this award is Shanyu Yao. So we will have some comments by Ken, but first I'm just going to tell you a little bit about Shanyu. He is a PhD student in the Sonic Chemistry group led by Ashok. During his master's study, he mainly focused on high-intensity ultrasound on cell disruption and lipid extraction from microalgae, and low-intensity ultrasonic standing wave deemulsification. Now, in his first year of his PhD, Shan Yu's current research topic is ultrasonic modification on hemp seed protein and its application in the food industry. The main focus of his work is to understand how functional hemp seed protein is changed by the effects of ultrasound. So I'll just now invite Ken Deutscher, who is a representative of Indorama Ventures, which is the new name for Huntsman. Do we have Ken here to say a few words?
Yes, I'm here.
Brilliant. I'll hand over to you then.
Okay. Just want to congratulate Young Yu on the work and wish them all the very best for their future research efforts. I'll perhaps hold off saying too much about Indorama, but Huntsman's surfactants businesses globally were bought out by Indorama at the start of this year. So the Australian R&D team here in Melbourne and our manufacturing facilities up in Botany still all remain. It's just the name that's changed. And we look forward to a continued association with the University of Melbourne.
Thanks so much, Ken. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. So this is also brought to us by Indorama Ventures. So it's the Indorama Ventures Prize. And as Ken alluded to, I mean, we have had a long engagement with Huntsman, and I hope that continues on with Indorama Ventures. It's a really important relationship for the School of Chemistry. So it was established in 2001 by Indorama Ventures Oxide Australia Proprietary Limited. And it's awarded to a student proceeding to a major in third year chemistry based on outstanding academic performance in second year chemistry. And the awardee is Dominic Brown, and Dominic has already received one award today, but just a little bit of a summary about Dominic, just for those of you who've forgotten. He's currently completing his final few years of his chemistry major. During COVID, he's particularly enjoyed some of his subjects he's been completing, which including inorganic chemistry and theoretical chemistry. And so he's given us some highlights there. In his free time, he also enjoys surfing and music. So I'll just pass on to Ken. Would you like to say a few words here as well, please?
Yeah, just congratulations, Dominic, and very best wishes for your future studies.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. Okay, next one. All right. So this is I've got very fond memories of this prize, the Dulux Australia Prize, because my father worked at this company for many, many years. It was established in 1991 by Dulux Australia Proprietary Limited, and it's awarded to a student enrolling in chemistry in a Bachelor of Honours, Masters or Advanced Grad Dip Sci, and who makes the best presentation of their research proposal to Dulux and a chemistry selection panel. And I've had the pleasure of being at a couple, or maybe more than a couple, quite a few now. And they have been very, very good, excellent presentations, which really highlight the amazing science that's being done at the School of Chemistry. So I'm always incredibly proud of our students when I go to one of these sessions. So the awardee today is Emily McGowan. And I will pass over to Olga in a second, but before I do, just to tell you a little bit about Emily. She's currently studying an honours degree in Professor Paul Donnelly's group. When she's not at uni, Emily likes spending time with her dogs and her bees. I'd like to hear more about that, Emily. So I'll pass over now to Olga Paravagna, who is a representative of Dulux here today. So did you have some comments for us or thoughts, Olga?
Yep. Thanks, Georgie. And I must apologise up front that the mower has started next door just as I'm about to talk, and that always happens, doesn't it? But congratulations first to Emily, and I'll say a bit more in a minute. But I'm really happy, as Georgie said, that Dulux and the University of Melbourne are continuing a really strong research partnership, and Georgie and I are actually working together on a project this year. So really good and a great thing. Dulux are focused on category-leading products, and these are, of course, enabled by science and engineering know-how. And I think we're probably one of the biggest employers of chemists maybe in Australia. And so it gives me great pleasure to continue to be able to award the Dulux Prize in Chemistry. And again, congratulations, Emily, and I look forward to having a bit more of a chat with you after this. Thanks, Georgie.
Thanks, Olga. I appreciate it. Great, next award. Okay, another really important linkage for the School of Chemistry is the Agilent Award for Excellence. This is established in 2012 by Agilent Technologies Australia in recognition of the company's support for science and the scientists of tomorrow, and some very important instruments that we all need. It's awarded to a student commencing further study in chemistry after finishing a Bachelor of Honours, Masters or Advanced Grad Dip Sci based on academic excellence in third-year subjects, particularly relating to spectroscopy for obvious reasons. Okay, and the awardee is Katerina Thompson. So Philip is going to have a chat to us in a second. He's a representative of Agilent, but before he does, I'll just tell you a little bit about Katerina. She's currently undertaking her master's in a joint project between the White and Abrams group, researching supramolecular chemistry, specifically synthesizing molecular cages. She's also interested, and this is so important, in science communication and bringing science to broader audiences. Okay, so I'll just invite Philip now to say a couple of words to us.
Thanks, Georgina, and thanks for the opportunity to be here. It's firstly, congratulations to all the students and staff for the awards. It's 2020 has been an unusual year, but I think particularly challenging for anyone, for any student or staff in an academic situation, just to deliver the courses and to be part of the courses and research. So a huge congratulations to all of you for all the achievements that you've had. In particular for Katerina, I think Agilent have had a long-standing relationship with the university from the very beginnings of our company. We stem back to 1938. Actually, I don't go back that far with the company, but we do go back to 1938 here in Melbourne, and really started to grow as a company on the back of the invention of the atomic absorption spectrophotometer back in 1952. So we've been around for a long time. We've had many collaborations, and we have a number of ongoing collaborations with the university. It's been a really strong partnership over many decades, and we benefit enormously from the access to the talent that both resides in the university and also comes out of the university, because we've got over 250 in research and development sitting here in Melbourne, scientists and engineers, and I don't know the percentage, but probably a fair percentage have Melbourne University qualification behind them or under their names, and they continue to contribute to one of Australia's great export and R&D success stories over time. So really a great pleasure to be here. Really pleased to be sponsoring the award yet again this year, and looking forward to ongoing sponsorship, and on this occasion, just a huge congratulations to yourself, Katerina, and looking forward to talking to you after the official part of this to explore a little around what you're researching and what you're interested in as well. So congratulations from Agilent.
Brilliant. Okay, so that actually concludes our awards, and so what I'm going to do now is hand over to Catherine Fitzgerald, one of our multi-award winners, to give us some concluding remarks.
Thanks, Georgie, and thanks to all staff members, students and guests for attending this afternoon. So first and foremost, a massive congratulations to all the award recipients this afternoon for their outstanding achievements last year. The academic excellence we celebrate tonight is a testament to your hard work and dedication. If there's one life skill that studying chemistry will teach you, it is resilience. There's nothing quite like having reactions repeatedly fail on you that will teach you how to push through setbacks. And indeed, 2020 has been one monumental setback. Reflecting on this tumultuous year, I'm filled with gratitude for my education in chemistry. It's given me the tools to overcome disappointment and to persevere with my studies. I've observed this same resilience across the School of Chemistry continually throughout the year. From the efforts of students and staff alike to adapt to challenging learning environments, and to the collegial support that's selflessly offered up on a daily basis by co-workers, it has been truly uplifting to see the School of Chemistry rally together during these unprecedented times. Now, before we can let you go this afternoon, there are some people that we have to thank. Without their help, this event wouldn't have been possible. So thank you to Head of School, Professor Richard O'Hare, for hosting this afternoon, and to Professor Trevor Smith and Dr. Georgina Such for presenting the awards. Thank you to Professor Gavin Reid, Barbara Johnson, and Andrea Oliver for organising the event. And thank you to Linda Richardson and Penny Fairbank for their support and assistance from the Faculty of Science. We would like to also extend a sincere thanks to our industry partners and donors for their ongoing support and attendance today. Thank you to Olga Paravagna from Dulax, Ken Deutscher from Indorama Ventures, and Philip Binns from Agilent. And finally, thank you to our donors for their generosity, especially Lucy and Maurice, who are here this afternoon with us. So once again, thank you to everyone for taking the time today to celebrate the achievements of our students and staff. And once again, congratulations to all award recipients this afternoon.
Thanks, Catherine. I think that that is such, really topical comments for our COVID situation. And I think it really illustrates that the School of Chemistry is in a really healthy place. I mean, as you've seen today, we've got amazing students and staff who continue to go above and beyond. So I'd like to invite everyone to give all our awardees a hand of applause. Okay, and that concludes our ceremony today.